All right, I'm going to land the plane. Go a lot further and deeper because there's way more that we need to go into, especially this verse, but we're not going to do it today. I have the next 2 verses here about the women that have not been with women and haven't been defiled, because that's not what it's saying. And also about in their mouth there was no falsehood and guilt. We are going to continue doing this next week, but I need to take you, now that I've dropped the word that I was talking about, buying and selling.
Yeah.
Right here. We are going to go to, give us of your oil. And they said, no, go ye rather to them that sell and buy. It's the same word.
Yeah.
Same root. And these are the sons. The only difference is that the yod that was on the inside is now on the outside. So these who buy and sell are those that have the power of the Father, that give the power, means, and direction of how to elevate your fallen flesh. And we just described it, who those are. They are the 144,000 that are teaching the new, more excellent, more improved way. And we'll take you through the process of it. There's much more, because this is also talked about. I'm going to be sharing some other stuff about the continuation of the house, the Bet Ayin, because the Bet Ayin, this isn't the bomb that I want to drop yet, but the Bet Ayin, the house, let me show you here. It's like Kayutha, the mark right here. So the Bet Ayin, where we were talking about the light, the house of the eye, the all-seeing eye.
Yeah.
This is the same phrase that's used here about the mark of the beast on the foreheads. Same exact phrase, same exact spelling, same exact spelling. And where is it? Oh, there's so much more that I want to share with you guys. Just can't. It's too much. I'm already overwhelmed. We're going to have to save it. But the bomb I want to drop with you guys, and I'm going to lead you with this. And this, I kind of sat there and went, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. So in the Matthew 25, the wise and foolish virgins, something that was not translated by the King James Version. So, then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins who took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. John Etheridge translated as this: meet the bridegroom and the bride. This word right here is the bridegroom, and this is the word for bride. So these wise and foolish virgins are going out to meet the bride and the bridegroom. King James left the bride out. So what this is telling me, from what I'm seeing this, is that these are of the 144,000 that are coming to instruct the other ones. Because we have 3 different harvests that we deal with. Actually, there's 4. But technically, the main harvest that we're talking about is the barley harvest, the wheat harvest, and the oil and the wine harvest, or the grapes, right? So we have those who make themselves ready first, the first of the first fruits, the barley bride. Then we have the wheat bride, and then we have those that are of the grapes that get crushed. It produces wine. It's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that there's judgment. I'm saying that there's 3 different phases for the people who want to prepare themselves for what we are going through right now. Because, right, we are eternal beings. It makes no difference how this epoch closes out. It makes no difference. We're eternal beings. Our energy gets transferred. But we do have a choice of how we want to get transferred out of here. Based on our preparations of doing it now.
So the harvest is
Yeah.
something we choose which one.
And it's based on how we're preparing. So those, the first of the first fruits are those who prepared themselves before the appointed time. They started early on preparing themselves. And then the wheat one, so the difference, so the barley bride gets winnowed. So they get tossed up in the air. Winnowed means their fruit is separated through the air, through the ruach. They get tossed in the air. The Spirit is helping them get rid of their chaff so that all that remains is the barley fruit. The wheat bride gets threshed. It gets beaten. So they go through a time that is more calamity than the barley bride, but they still make themselves ready. But they go through that time, which we know as quote unquote the tribulation period. They go through the difficult time and they make themselves ready. And then there's those that don't make themselves ready at all. And they go through the really rough spot of, and their end they will have to shed their earth suit some other way. You know, I mean, it's literally the close of the epoch. I don't really like talking about that because I don't like fear porn, and I don't want to put fear in people. That is a really low vibratory nature. But we're eternal beings, and this epoch, this inverse, is closing down because it's no longer serving us. It's no longer serving us. Gaia has ascended, and again, Gaia is an Aramaic word. The gathering of those that would have the power, means, and direction of unifying in one love, that are of oneness. That's the whole thing. So you got Gaia and Araya. It's all synonymous. So Gaia is the planet that holds those that are of the Araya, those who will be the shepherd companions and friends, one of mother and one of father. And so she's moving, and so are we. So the lower narrative has to shut down because it can't sustain itself anymore. That time has passed. That's why we're now into the new epoch of light and love. So in this situation right here, the bride and the bridegroom come out to the 10 virgins. So we are talking about the barley bride and the wheat bride and the other harvest that doesn't have what it needs. But there's more to the story here, because there has to do with those who are in hypocrisy.
Well, so the 5 and the 5, is that actually 5, or is that some other number?
No, it is the word 5. It's the word 5. So 5. So think of it this way. There's 5 is the number for Hay, the revelation.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So what are these two different people groups going to do with the revelation that is given to them? Are they going to be foolish with it, or are they going to be wise with it? Are they going to be hypocrites with it, or are they going to allow it to change them? So yeah. And one more thing I want to share with you. So they went to meet the bridegroom and the bride. I want you to look at this word right here. Here is the word for companion, shepherd, and friend. And right here is the word light. Lamed. The teaching shepherd of light, the teaching shepherd of the light teachings that are going to come as light, that are going to be your companions and friends and your shepherds. These are the true shepherds that will be given, that will never be moved out of their way. These are the true shepherds.
Is there a distinguishment? Can you distinguish between the bridegroom and the bride?
Yep. This is the word for bridegroom.
But I mean, as far as in meaning, that you made it sound like it's all the same people group.
Well, I think so. Let's look at the words. So we have a het, tet, noon, aleph. So there's frequencies that are involved with every word. So Ken and I are trying to get, even breaking our mindset. I think Ken's better at it than me. I'm trying to continue to break my own programming and indoctrination. So I see bridegroom and bride, and I have all these things that I've already been programmed to believe of what it is. But they're frequencies. They're signature frequencies that are held within the letters. So the bridegroom is one that comes, that is set apart, that has the covenant, that is set apart from the others that don't. They have the covenant signature frequency of the spiritual path of one. So in other words, the bridegroom is coming to be able to present this to you. And then when you become the bride, it's those that connect to this in humility that have been made complete, right? This means complete and whole. And I find it interesting that in Aramaic, so in Hebrew, we have the word kal, which means whole or to be full. Kalau, you know, that's the root of that. Mm-hmm. But kal in Aramaic means the bride. So the bridegroom comes to teach you this process, and then you become the bride if you connect to it, and you have your cup ready to be filled with the language that brings revelation, as the teaching shepherd will come to instruct you how to be marked with the Father's covenant in unconditional love and be sealed in it as one that has the Christ anointing. So they are coming as the bridegroom and the bride because they've completed the purpose. So their job as the bridegroom is to teach you how to do it because they've already become it. But King James left that part out. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Because to me, that makes more sense. It's the bridegroom and the bride. So they're coming as a groomsman to you to say, let me help you get ready so you can prepare yourself to become the bride. That's my job as a groomsman for you, is to help assist you, to help you get ready. Because why? I've already done it. But again, so even in English, you could say, okay, the bride, groom, the groom, that's the bride. Right? Because do we call, like when we're getting married, do we call, like, would I call my husband the bridegroom, or would I just call him my fiance? Like, why do we use this phrase bridegroom? Could it be because that's what this is right here? I'm just throwing that out there. That phrase is literally because it's written this way. That's also a bride. And in the language, they would flip it, right? So it really would read the bridegroom. So everybody has always said that this is Yeshua, right? Yeah. And I do not agree with that. I believe that he was that. He did that. But these are the people that are coming to show you, because they've gone through both statuses. They are the groom that is going to show you how to be the bride, because they're both, right? They're unified as one, bride and groom together, married, completed.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this one, when I saw this is the bomb I'm dropping on you guys. When I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh. And I was trying to not be ticked off at King James that they hate this, because this is a big, big, big piece.
The male and the female.
The teachings, the two that have become one, and these would be the 144,000. Undoubtedly would be the 144,000 that come to teach the better way, the more excellent way, the improved way, the way of betterment.
Yeah, I'm sure many of those, the foolish virgins, will be fallen.
Maybe so.
I imagine so.
Maybe so, but the opportunity is being presented to them. So that's why, like, even connecting it to Bereshit, in the beginning, choose. Just make a choice, choose. Choose what you want to build, and then build it. But the recommendation is to build it in love. Whoo! That was a lot. That was 2 hours. I think I gave you guys 2 cows today, maybe 3.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. All of this is to speak to our heart in a practical application for us to actually do something with it, that the access has been granted for us to be able to apply it, because there's literally like a formula that is being given to us through the letters of light that are being revealed in the time of the revealing. So it's an honor to share these things with you guys, and the level of responsibility to try to get these things out on a timely fashion so other people can hear it, so that they can choose to enter in as well, because this is a full-on invitation. We are being invited to join into the language of light and love for those who would have the eyes to see it, the ears to hear it, and the willingness to listen and to obey, to actually apply it. That is what is being presented today. Okay, I'm done. Stick a fork in me. Keep building this, because it is critical that people know who the 144,000 are. A, it's critical for them to know who they are. B, it's critical for them to know that they can still qualify.
Yeah.
You know, because my heart is, if I can pull it off, I'm not sure how I can. It's a lot to do in a short amount of time, but my heart is to start doing classes around Passover this year.
Mm-hmm.
Give me enough time to get it started and get people to come in and start doing the 6 months of mother and 6 months of father. So unless I can get people to learn all of mother's teaching ahead of time, start getting them to learn the letters of light ahead of time, know their shapes and their meanings, I can start teaching father's teachings from the get-go, right at Passover,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I would prefer to do.